QPR have definitely had a season to forget. They finished 20th at the end of this campaign and they weren't far off the relegation zone. And not to blow my own trumpet, I think I'm the answer to their problems. So today I am taking control of QPR and by the end of this video I will be making them the best team in the world. But hold on a minute, there's a little catch. No transfers, no scouting system, no youth academy. This time I'm only allowed to sign free agents. So this is the starting 11 I've loaded into, and to be fair, QPR's team isn't that bad. Granted, their midfield's all over the place, but they do have some pretty solid players, with the likes of Rob Dickey, Ilias Chair, and of course winger Chris Willock. And one thing they do have going for them, their squad isn't actually that old. They've got a couple of people in the 30s, but after that it's only mid to late 20s. But on the other hand, they do have a stupid loan situation where about 4 or 5 of their best players are currently on loan to them. And obviously, because we're only allowed to sign free agents, we can't purchase a single one of them permanently. Now you guys might be surprised at this, but I'm actually going to stick with the 4-4-2. I've never used it before and I'm really intrigued to see how it does. But that does mean we are going to have to make a couple of position changes happen. For example, we're going to have to change Ilias from a cam to a right winger, but fortunately that'll only take 2 weeks. But even with the position changes, there's still a lot of work that needs doing with this squad. But we do have a pretty tidy budget of 10 million in season 1 to spend. But because of how many players we're going to lose next season because they're on loan to us, I'm going to make as many signings as I possibly can. That way we won't have squad depth issues and we'll be way more prepared. And as for where we need to improve on the pitch, that really doesn't concern me. All I want is some really good free agent signings in season 1. I'm keeping with the rules. I am getting rid of every single youth academy player, even Austin Norris, who's 16 years old and 71 rated. I started with a potential bang straight away. I found Alexandro Sikaldar, who's 24 years old. I'm not sure what his overall is, but those stats look really promising. And I'm not waiting for that scout report. I'm just going to bite the bullet and go for him straight away. And obviously, with us having just under 10 million, we can potentially get away with making 4 or 5, maybe even 6 free agent signings. Now here's the question, what is his overall? He's a 72 rated centre mid. We've hit the jackpot with this guy straight away. And our midfield now actually looks pretty solid with him in the team, but there's no way we're anywhere near done yet. And I think I found a superstar in the making, Alvaro Silva, who's only 20 years old, but those stats look ridiculous for his age. As daft as this may sound, if we get him right now, this guy could potentially be an endgame player. And his overall is a 74 rated centre back. Boys, we have done so well already. And I found another centre midfielder, American Alan Sonora, who's 23 years old, but obviously we haven't had his full scout report back, but those stats look really goddamn good. And his overall is 74. Boys, we've got our midfield sorted this year. So we've now got our midfield sorted and bolstered our defence, but still we aren't done yet. We still have 7 million for God's sake. We'd be daft not to use that money. Now I found a pretty solid striker, Ukrainian Artem Dovbyek. He's 25 years old, 70 rated. I think he'd do pretty well. And I've found a better goalkeeper as well, Ivica Ivusic, who's 27 years old, 73 rated. He'll definitely do the job for at least 4 or 5 seasons. And I'm going to end the transfer window by signing Karim Boudiaf, who's 71 rated at 31 years old. If anything happens to either our 2 centre midfielders, he'll step up to the plate. And that is our transfer window done. And this is the QPR team going into season 1. And I'll be honest with you, I think we've done a very solid job only bringing in free agents. We've massively improved the team already. And especially with this midfield, it's got to be one of the top 5 midfielders in the championship. But here's the thing, I don't want to get promoted this year. In the Premier League, this team would get absolutely annihilated. So for now at least, I just want a mid-table spot. I would be very happy with that. Boys, I am gobsmacked. We're second in the league at the end of this season and we've been promoted. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's amazing for the club, but in terms of how we're going to do next year, I do not have a clue whether we're going to survive the Prem. And we had an insane cup run getting to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup and losing to United 3-1. But when you look at the team, it's fairly obvious how we've done it. This team is far too good for the championship. And some of these stats are pretty impressive. 22 and 6 for both of our strikers and 16 and 9 for Chris Willock. Now don't get me wrong, I'm buzzing that we've been promoted first time, but that does really put us in a bind for next season. Because obviously we'll be playing in the top flight of English football and we'll only be able to sign free agent players, so unless we sign some absolute ballers next year, we are absolutely screwed. So we're now heading into season 2 and our first season in the Premier League with QPR. And last year I wasn't targeting any positions for where I was signing players. It was kind of for all over the pitch, but now we really do need to focus our attention on some positions. The most important position to improve is our striker, because Dax definitely isn't good enough for the Prem. Now I'm actually happy to leave the midfield alone. I think they'll be strong enough to cope for at least 1 season without improvement. But this defence needs sorting out, we'll definitely need a better right back. But saying all of this, if I see an absolute baller for any position on this pitch, I'm definitely going to go for them as well. And we've definitely got a budget that'll give us endless amount of signings, 37 million to spend in season 2. Now, a lot of you guys suggested to go for free agent regens, and I think I might have just found one in Sebastian Berge, who's 18 years old, 73 rated. He's Swedish, so I'm assuming he's Ibra's regen. And we are signing the absolute GOAT of free agent strikers, Andrea Bellotti, who's 29 years old, 79 rated. I think he will solo keep us up this year. Now, I've just found a fullback, and this guy looks really promising. Guilherme da Costa, who's 21 years old. I don't know what his overall is, but those stats look absolutely insane. Now, I'm fairly certain he's going to be a high rated player. Oh, wow. 80 rated. Just what the doctor ordered. Now, I won't lie. I'm disappointed. We've got 32 million left to spend, and I cannot find a single decent free agent to either put in the subs bench or in the starting 11. So this is the team that's going to go into season 2 in our first season in the Premier League. And obviously, I'm not expecting anything outrageous, nothing spectacular either. I just want to avoid relegation. I'm hoping that over the course of this season, the boys will just improve like they did last year, and that will be enough to keep us from getting relegated. Boys, we've just arrived in June, and it was close. We're 17th at the end of this season, only 4 points above the drop zone. Honestly, I expected this, but seeing it in front of my eyes is a different story. But we once again made it to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and losing 2-0 to Chelsea. But when you look at the team, it's very clear that next season we need to make some bloody good free agent signings. But in fairness, the stats are actually pretty impressive. 20-3 for Dovbiat, 17-12 for Bellotti, 15-6 for Willock, and 11-6 for Ilias Chair. So in 2 seasons, we've been promoted and we survived the Premier League. I'd say with QPR, that is pretty good going. But like I've said, next year we need to make some bloody good free agent signings, otherwise I can genuinely see us getting relegated. But if you're still watching, consider dropping the video a like and hitting that subscribe button. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers before the end of next month, so if you can help me out with achieving that goal, that would be amazing. So we are now into season 2, and when you take a look at the team, it is obvious all over the pitch needs improvement. But to be fair, if I find an absolute baller of a winger, I am definitely going to go for that as well. And we have no money issues at all. 46 million to spend. We could literally make endless transfers this season. And we are going to start by bringing a bit of a legend to the team. Evert Banega, who's 36 years old, 79 rated. We'll probably only get 1 season out of this guy. And we're also looking to bring Dali Ali to the Premier League once again. He's 28 years old, 76 rated. Hopefully we'll be able to revive his career. And we found yet another centre midfielder in Karim Demirbay, who's 30 years old, but I'm not sure what his overall is, but I'm guessing it's high 70s. Am I going to be right or am I going to be wrong? He's 80 rated. He'll definitely suit us quite well. And now the team looks like this, and let's be honest, the midfield doesn't need any more improving. We need to work on other areas of the pitch now. If we can, we need a new goalkeeper, a couple of defenders, and a new striker. Now, last season, we made 3 transfers, and we've already matched that, so far, this is going pretty well. Now, I might have just found a goalkeeper in Fernando Garcia. He's 18 years old. I don't know what his overall is, but his stats look pretty promising. And I'll be real with you, I'm not waiting 27 days to find out his overall. And his overall is gonna be 76. You know what, at 18 years old, that's pretty good. If we can get him to maybe 80, 82 rated, I consider that a pretty big W. Now, I might have just found a defender with a lot of potential. Thomas Arujo, who's 22 years old. I don't know what his overall is, but those stats do look, once again, pretty promising. We've been fairly lucky so far. Can that luck continue? 76 rated, absolutely perfect. This team's starting to come together nicely now. We've potentially sorted our defensive problem out. We've got a brand new goalkeeper in Garcia. I'm hoping he does come good in a couple of seasons. But we do have a lot of money left, so I want to make at least 1 or 2 more signings before I call it today. And after searching for ages, I think I'm calling it today with this final transfer. Issam Ahmed, who's 72 rated at only 19 years old. He's not going to get in the starting 11, but he'll be a decent backup. And so we're going into season 3 with the team looking like this. Now, I'm putting a lot of faith in these guys this year. We may potentially get our arses handed to us quite a few times, but as long as we survive, I'm alright with that. But the board have other ideas as they want us to finish mid-table. I mean, I think I'm going to get sacked this year. Well, we've arrived in June and the board actually got their wish. We're 11th in the league at the end of this season. I'll be real, I'm pretty gobsmacked we've been able to pull this off. But looking at the team, it is really coming together now. I'm saying another 2 seasons it will potentially be pushing for European football. And the stats are pretty impressive. 20-5 and 17-3 for our strikers and 16-6 for Willock and 12-4 for Ilias Chair. I've got to say Thomas Arujo's looking pretty promising. 3 overall growth this year. I am praying he turns out to be good. The same can't be said for Banega though. -7 overall. My God. But everything is starting to come together now. We're getting better players. The team's looking really good. We're getting mid-table finishes. We are doing very well. But like I've said, in the next couple of seasons, if we can get some really good players on a free, we are definitely looking at European football soon. When I went to season 4, and when you take a look at the team, there's only a couple of areas we actually need to focus on. Firstly, I'm leaving Thomas Arujo alone. He's 78 rated. He grew 3 overall last year. He's going nowhere. However, we need a better centre-back for Silva and a better right-back for Parr. Once we've got those positions, we've got that defense sorted. And if we can, I'm going to try and find a better striker in place of Dovbyk. And 60 million to spend in season 4, but we can only bring in free agents. Don't you just love it? Okay, we found our first world-class player, Mohamed Salah, 33 years old, 88 rated. I know he's going to go down in overall, but I don't care. He's 88 goddamn rated. And you boys ain't going to believe who I'm about to sign. Lionel Messi, the greatest footballer of all time, 38 years old, 83 rated, and he's about to sign for QPR. Okay, this signing is a little more realistic. Reece Nelson, who's 25 years old, 79 rated. Once Messi and Salah are buggered off, he'll be a good second choice winger. So now the team looks like this, and we've improved the one part of the pitch we didn't need to improve. We're still on the lookout for a centre-back, a right-back, and a better striker. But the thing is, with free agents, as you guys know, you literally get what you're given. But this striker certainly looks promising. Enrique Aguirre, or however you pronounce his bleeding name, he's 19 years old. His market value is 19.5 million, but we got to move fast because Udinese have already approached him. And he is 77 overall. He's only 19 years old though, so he'll definitely come good in a couple of seasons' time. And I found a temporary solution to our right back problem. Hanze Barro's 31 years old and 79 rated. And guess who else I've just found? The Brazilian centre midfielder, Arthur. This season we've been blessed with good players. And that's wrapped up our transfer window, and this is the squad that's going to go into season 4. We've got Mohamed Salah in the team along with Lionel Messi. We've got a good striker partnership up top. Our defence looks better. There's no reason why we can't be hitting a top 10 finish this time. Obviously, I could be wrong and all sorts of bad things can happen from now until June, but you never know what we can accomplish. Well, we've just arrived in June and we've done better than top 10. We're in Europe next year, finishing 5th at the end of this season. I'll be real, I'd have settled for top 10, but top 6 football is insane. But looking at the team, it's easy to see how we've done so well. This team has improved this year. And these stats are bloody impressive. Chris Willock was 16 and 9, Mohamed Salah with 19 and 12, Belotti with 23 and 9, and 31 and 7 for our top goal scorer Enrique Aguirre, who, may I add, has gone up to 83 rated at only 20 years old. We found our endgame striker. It's taken us 4 seasons, but we're finally in Europe next year, but we do have to make some very good signings in a couple of areas of the pitch, otherwise we're going to get absolutely toasted. We're now into season 5, and when you look at the squad, there's only 2 areas of this pitch we really need to improve. We definitely need to improve our back line, and we certainly need a better goalkeeper. If we weren't in Europe, our goalkeeper would be pretty decent, but now that we are, we certainly need to improve that position. And if only we were allowed to spend our money, 129 million this year, we could legitimately solve all of our problems with that money. Now, I found a promising young goalkeeper, Jose Abreu, who's 18 years old. He's got some promising stats, and I don't want to scout him any further just in case I can't sign him. And he's only 73 overall. This might be a loan out job. But the good news, we found a solid centre-back. Ethan Ampadu is 25 years old. I'm not sure what his overall is, but I'm betting he's better than what we've got right now. You may have noticed a passing, I'm not scouting these players anymore. Angel Carvajal is 18 years old. He's got pretty decent stats, but I want to convert him to a centre-back. He's already 74 rated. It'll only take 2 weeks to convert him to a centre-back. I think this is the right choice. After that, we went on to sign Dani Ceballos, free agent legend Luis Chavez, and finally French striker Pierre Bertrand. And Carvajal's training to be a centre-back has finished, and now we are going to have a 74 rated centre-back. I really thought that was going to improve his overall. But that does wrap up our transfer window, and this is the team going into this season. And as you can see, we've switched the formation to a 4-3-3 flat. We've got them many good centre midfielders. It'd be a stupid idea not to use this formation. Now, whilst we've been for the most part unsuccessful in improving our defence and decent goalkeeper. Our attack is insane, so I'm thinking that may potentially carry us this year. And we are in the Europa League after qualifying for it last year. We're in Group F alongside Sturmgrass, Hearts and HJK Helsinki. And I think we've potentially got what it takes to go all the way in this competition, so obviously I want to top the group. We've just finished the campaign and we are 5th at the end of this season, exactly where we finished last year. It's still a good finish, don't get me wrong, but I'm gutted we couldn't creep into the top 4. And we came so close to winning the FA Cup. Brighton battered us in the final 3-1. But somehow we've battered Bayern Munich in the Europa League final, and now we are actually in the Champions League next year. How do we lose 3-1 to Brighton but beat Bayern Munich 4-1? Like, how does that make any sense? I'm telling you, a couple of really good signings next year and we can go quite far in the Champions League. But our striker is an absolute monster. 46 goals and 7 assists in 60 games, with Salah getting 19 and 10 and Willock getting 14 and 12. But 46 goals in a campaign is absolutely mental. While we reached the FA Cup final, we won the Europa League and we got top 6 football once again. I think we've had a pretty good year. But like I said, a couple of really good signings next year and hopefully we can go quite far in the Champions League. We're now into Season 6 with QPR, and let's just take a look at some of these objectives. They want us to reach the final of the Champions League. Bruv, I don't think that's going to happen. They also want us to win the FA Cup and get a Europa League spot. Now that is pretty doable. And to be honest, the team right now is coming on leaps and bounds, but we definitely do need to bring in a better goalkeeper, right back, and maybe potentially another centre back as well. And along the way, if we find any other world-class talent, I'm definitely bringing them into the team as well. And it is genuinely killing me at this point. 178 million to spend. And almost straight away, I found a defender, David Alaba. He's 84 rated. Granted, he is 35 years old, but I bet we can get one season out of him at least. And I don't know whose regen this is, but he looks good. Maxence Bernier, who's only 18 years old, but those stats look absolutely mental. And his overall is going to be 82 rated. That is just what we needed. And I might have found a new goalkeeper. Davide Conte, the Italian, is 21 years old, and his stats look pretty promising, but I don't want to take the risk of scouting him even further. I'll absolutely take an 80 rated keeper at this, but 80 rated, do you know what? I might be able to train him up to be a beast. That isn't looking good though. 39 weeks to become an 81 rated player. I mean, I suppose it's better than nothing. But the good news is he is showing great potential, so that may change over the course of the season. And as you can see, I've changed to the 4-3-3 holding variation just for our CDM Bernier. He's 81 rated, only 18 years old. I would be stupid just to leave him on the subs bench. But you better believe we're not done yet. We still need a better centre back and a right back. And boys, I have found the right back we need. 18-year-old Albert Bishop. He's already 79 rated. He's absolutely rapid. He's just what we need. And that's where I'm wrapping up our transfer window, and this is the team going into Season 6. Now obviously our defence is still a little shaky, but I genuinely think our front three in midfield are going to carry us this season. And you have to consider the fact we've got a lot of young talent in this squad, so hopefully by the end of this season a lot of them will have improved even more. And we have an early opportunity of silverware in the Super Cup against Napoli. Now they have got a pretty formidable side, so going against these guys will definitely be a good indication of where we'll do in the... Wow, we actually got our arses handed to us. But moving on, we are in the Champions League. We are in the group of absolute death alongside Bayern Munich, Olympique Marseille and Torino. Now let's be real, Bayern are topping this group without any difficulties. That second place position is definitely up for grabs, and I think we may be able to just pit Marseille to the post to it. Well, we just arrived in January and we are 4th in the league halfway through the season. Is this finally our year to get into the top 4? And we have absolutely smoked Group G and we've gone straight into the round of 16. And the best part, Bayern Munich finished 3rd. Who the bloody hell would have thought that? And it's very clear to see why we're doing so well. Enrique Aguirre, 28 goals and 6 assists, and 14 and 4 for Chris Willock as well. And this is an updated look on the team that's going into the knockouts. And I've got to say, our front three is absolutely world class. Our midfield is mediocre at best, but our defence has really improved this year as well. We certainly won't get to the final, but we may potentially get to the quarters, maybe even the semi-finals if we're lucky. And first up in the knockouts is Villarreal, and when you look at their team, they've got Openda, they've got Martin, they've got Nchape at the back, but I think we slap these guys. And you'll have noticed I've gone back to the 4-3-3. That is because Bernier is actually a better centre-back, so I've just gone back to the original formation. It makes no sense to stay in the 4-3-3 holding. Now we are away from home in the first leg, so what is the result going to be? It's going to be a 1-0 win, and our striker gives us the advantage going into the second leg. We've we've got the home advantage and we're 1-0 up in the second leg. It's ours to lose. QPR versus Villarreal. Are we going to the quarters? Yes, we are. Will it gets us the equaliser and we are going through to the quarters. And next up in the knockouts is Marseille, the very same team we beat to the first place position in the group stage. Now, looking at their team, it is pretty decent, but their defence really isn't that good. So I'm pretty confident that we should get past Marseille. Okay, maybe not. A 1-1 draw in the first leg and it goes to the second. We lose, we're out of this competition. We win, we proceed to the semi-finals. What is it going to be? It's a 2-1 win. Aguirre and Willock in the 83rd minute puts us in the semi-final. And up next in the knockouts is Juve. And I'll be completely honest with you, I think this is where our Champions League journey comes to an end. Their team is absolutely cracked. We are at home in the first leg, so we have got the home advantage, but I don't think that's going to be enough, boys. Yeah, there we go. 3-1 hammer. Juve are definitely going to the final. I suppose there is a chance we could overturn a 3-1 deficit. A very small chance at that, but there is still a little glimmer of hope. We are away from home. What's the score going to bloody hell? We got absolutely annihilated. But I did say if we got to the quarters or even the semi-finals, we've done well. And that is exactly what we've done. Let's just hope that we finally broken into that top 4 by the end of the season. Boys, we're in June and we've finally broken into the top 4. We are in the Champions League once again next year. And on top of that, we've won the FA Cup, battering the champions 4-1. I'm going to guess our attackers and defences bailed us out because there's no way that midfield's done much this year. And let me tell you, these stats are ridiculous. 58 and 18 for Aguirre, 34 and 11 for Willock, 21 and 7 for Ilias Chess, 7 and 11 for Arthur, and 7 and 15 for Ceballos. Boys, we got top 4 football, won the FA Cup, and made it to the semis of the Champions League. This season has been a W. But next year, I want even better. I want to win the Premier League, I want to win the FA Cup again, and I want to win the Champions League. But hang on a minute, guys, just a minute. I need to have a little chat with you. So at the beginning of Season 7, I got sacked. This was my manager rating at the end of Season 6, and this was the manager rating at the start of Season 7. Luckily, though, I managed to get the job back halfway through Season 7. So right now, I'm going in blind. I've got no idea how we're doing in the league, the Champions League, what the team looks like. I'm literally going into this with no clue what to expect. So boys, it's halfway through Season 7. We are on the 3rd of January, so let's go have a look at what the team looks like. So for the most part, the team looks the exact same as it did before. They have got rid of Garcia, which I'm a little confused about. But thankfully, the starting 11 at least looks exactly the same. They have brought in a right back called Freneste. I don't know whether to get rid of him or just keep him because obviously that just takes away the entire free agents thing. But in the Premier League, we are technically in the top 4. We are joint on points with Manchester United and Liverpool. We're doing pretty well so far. And we have made it into the round of 16 with absolutely flying colours. I still don't know why they got bloody rid of me. I did really well in Season 6. But here's the thing. When I was sacked, I had a look at the free agents list to see who I could bring into the team. And there is absolutely nobody. So this is the team that's going to go into the knockouts. The thing is, whilst the team is pretty average at best, our front three is absolutely world class and our defense is definitely a lot better than it once was, so I think those two alone can definitely carry us to the final this time. And after scraping past Barca in the round of 16 and destroying Dortmund in the quarters, we are now in the semi-final. And boys, we've got a challenge ahead of us now. PSG in the semi-final, and that team is absolutely filthy. I'll be real, I don't know how we're going to get on. We're not going to beat them convincingly. If anything, we are just going to scrape past PSG. Oh my god, okay. We beat them 2-1. I mean, a 2-1 advantage against PSG means nothing, but we have got that advantage. And whilst we have the advantage, we've got a disadvantage now as Arthur has picked up a suspension. He won't be playing in this game. Whether that'll make a big difference in the end, we're about to find out. What's the score going to be? Boys, we're in the Champions League final after 7 long seasons. And boys, you ain't going to believe this. Bayer Leverkusen in the final. We ain't better bloody lose to them. But my God, we fell off in the Prem. 7th in the league at the end of this season. What the bloody hell happened to us? But we did go back-to-back winning the FA Cup, beating City 4-3 on penalties. Domestically, we're brilliant. We're in the Premier League. We're shocking. And I won't lie, the stats this year are mild compared to last season's. 29 and 4 for Aguirre, 19 and 12 for Chair, 17 and 6 for Wilk, and 12 and 5 for Sonora. We've been sacked, we've only been able to sign free agents, and still we have made it to the Champions League final in 7 seasons with QPR. I think we've done pretty decent. The only position I really wish we could have improved is the goalkeeper, but realistically this team is full of talented individuals. The likes of Ilias Chair, 88 rated, Bernier, 89 rated, Willock, 92 rated, and our striker, 93 rated. The team as a whole is amazing, don't get me wrong, but these individuals have definitely done a lot of the heavy lifting. And you know what, I've done enough watching lately, so this time I'm going to play this game and control the boys instead. We've lifted quite a few trophies with this QPR team, but the one we haven't lifted is the Champions League, and that's what I intend to win right now. Ilias Chair, can he spot that run? Yes, he can. He's in behind. Our striker, Mr. Dependable, he is once again Mr. Dependable. 10 minutes in, we are 1-0 up against our bogey side. I love this guy, man. Just when you need him to, he delivers. Boys, get this. Oh, wait. What is that? Oh, my God. I hate Bayer Leverkusen with a freaking passion. And we are now 1 apiece, man. I freaking hate Bayer Leverkusen. Ilias Chair, he's looking for the run. Can he... Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. First touch. Beautiful first touch. Can you get a bit of momentum? Oh, for the love of all that's holy. Oh, wow. He has just absolute... Oh, Bukoku, please get there. Oh, my God. Bayer Leverkusen, I want to rip my hair out. Get out the camera, you ugly bastard. Why is it always Bayer Leverkusen that I just can't play football against? Right, there's no creativity in the middle of the pot, so I'm going for a 4-3-3 attacking variation with Sonora being our central attacking midfielder. Honestly, if this doesn't work, we are losing this game. Chris Willock is on the ball. I'm waiting for that run. Why aren't you running, you absolute donut? But we don't need him to. Chris Willock on the ball. Oh my God. What do we have to do? Chris Willock on the ball. I tell you what, the defence is opened up for him. We're going to go for goal. Oh, there we go. Second time's the charm. Chris Willock, 2-2. 51 minutes into the game. We are definitely in this. Oh, I see Chris Willock. I see our striker open. Thank you. Oh my God, it's about goddamn time as well. This game is a roller coaster of emotions. Dominguez. Oh, I do not like Dominguez. He's opened up Raspadori. And just like that, Bayer Leverkusen go through us like a hot knife through butter, and we are 3-3 once again. Are we actually capable of going a goal up and actually keeping that frigging lead for once? Sonora, right, we've got options. We need to make the right choice here. Oh, maybe we can just go for goal. Oh, Samba, do my head in, you all, lad. Sonora, yet another corner to QPR. That's a shocking ball then, to be fair. Bernier. It's going to extra time, innit? It's going to extra time. Okay, I'm making a couple of changes here. Sonora is going to drop to the centre midfielder position. Nelson's going to go at Cam. Luis Chavez is going to come on for Arte. And I'm happy to leave it like that. I don't really want to use this guy because we didn't buy him, but he's just on the subs bench as a default. That's a beautiful ball. Please, there we go. There's the chance that we need. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Oh my God, boys, what is this game? Hat-trick hero in a Champions League final, man. That is about as rare as a hat-trick comes as you can get. For the 4th time, we have gone ahead in this final. For God's sake, don't concede again. 5 minutes remaining in extra time before we're lifting that goddamn trophy. Come on, boys. Anderson to Liska. Boys, I don't like this. Bayer Leverkusen. Oh, no. Nope. Conti. Whew. This has got to be the last kick of the game, surely. Bernier with the header. Samba is sick. Oh, there we go. He hasn't even gone for another corner. We are finally beaten Bayer Leverkusen in this final, and we are the best team in the world. Boys, it's been a roller coaster. We've been sacked. We could only use free agents, but it doesn't matter because we are lifting that trophy at long last. And if you enjoyed this video, you should click somewhere right here to watch me do this with Hartlepool.